Howdy Indie Warriors, and happy December to you all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you like to say. We thank you for celebrating indie releases with us here at I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Ole Gamer Joe, and this is upcoming indie games we are excited for, covering the week of December 4th through the 9th of 2023. And you know what would make a great gift for a loved one this Christmas? Well, a Patreon membership, of course. Head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames and you'll gain Discord access, shows like this early and ad-free, an exclusive podcast, shoutouts at the end of every single video, and so much more. Your community is waiting for you. With that out of the way, we have no sponsor this week, so let's hop right into our first release, which is Soulash 2. So you better get off your ash and play this one. Ha! I got the jokes today. Soulash 2 is a sandbox RPG taking place in a huge open world. Seriously, bigger than my calf, which is currently swollen like a balloon. The game will be in early access for about a year according to the Steam page. However, the main adventure loop is said to be integrated into this early access build, and it should keep you relatively busy. Soulash 2 will feature 5 races alongside 11 biomes in a deep progression system. Your goal? The same as Pinky and the Brains, of course, to try and take over the world. That's a 90s reference, sorry if it went over any of your heads. With procedural generation, a unique look back at historical events, and tons of abilities to unlock, Soulash 2 knows its audience well. I almost feel a little guilty that I didn't play Soulash 1. Soulash 1's a thing, right? Or did they just skip right to the sequel? No, I just looked it up. Soulash 1 is definitely real. Fans of the original should head on over to the Steam page and wishlist this one now. Forge a new destiny, I say. Onward, and holy hell, this one really brought me back to the later 90s. Ole Gamer Joe had just received his first PC when the original Kingpin launched, but now it's back and maybe better than ever? Yeah, I tried to download the demo on a 56K modem back in the day, so I can't really say if it was ever good. I think that download is still going over at my mom's place. This version of Kingpin Reloaded is going all out, however, with ultra-wide support, a classic and enhanced mode, 4K 60 FPS, and even a few other modes. Wait, 60 FPS? I can exceed that. What about me? Ha 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 ha. Joking, I'm just being a little bit of an elitist. I'm excited to revisit Kingpin Reloaded, or actually visit it for the first time, because again, that download is probably still going, and I'm pretty sure I never actually played this game. Lead your gang to a life of violence and crime on the 5th. You know, I've always had a thing for blacksmiths. I don't know what it is. Not romantically, I just think they're cool. Well, it looks like I will get to play as one now in While the Iron's Hot, which is not a new Gordon Ramsay show, but it's a crafting title from Bontemps Games and Humble Games. The game takes place on a massive island, and it's not just about forging the mightiest weapons. Oh no, there are treasures to discover and even a few puzzles to solve. The last smith I saw smacked a guy on live TV, so hopefully this one's a bit more heroic and brave. Restore pride to your village, but never resort to violence. As the game features absolutely no combat, well, there you go. Will Smith definitely can't smack me now. While the Iron's Hot also strikes on the 5th. I'll be honest with you folks, I've been feeling a little bit crummy. That's not gonna stop me from talking about Born of Bread, the latest RPG to attempt the Paper Mario formula. Born of Bread doesn't look all that moldy, with a lovely visual style. Yeah, there's no denying how cute the game looks, but it remains to be seen how well written the characters are. Combat will be turn-based, but a bit more strategic than the games that have inspired it. There's another game I really enjoyed called Bug Fables: The Everlasting Sapling, which kinda has a similar style to this one, so if Born of Bread can even be half a loaf as fun as that, count me in. Oh, and your fights will take place in front of a live audience, so no pressure. Next, we will explore the Scottish Highlands in a Highland Song. This title blends 2 of my favorite genres together, platformers and rhythm games. Your lead character is escaping from, I don't know, something, maybe she didn't pay her taxes, and will need to traverse treacherous cliffs and mountains if she hopes to make it out alive. The game will feature different types of weather, which can potentially make things even more difficult, and 100 different map pieces for players to try and discover. From what I've heard of the soundtrack, this game will at least sound amazing, but we shall see if the gameplay and story also bring the goods. A Highland Song releases on the 5th. Believe it or not, Ole Gamer Joe did own a snowmobile growing up, but it's been a long time since I've driven or even received a ride on one. At least I can hit the snow again in Sledders, a snowmobile simulator. Wow, they really do have a simulator for everything now, don't they? Race in the backwoods, on or offline in this early access release that arrives just in time for winter. The developer is going for maximum realism with a massive map to ride about vibe out on. There's also going to be a free ride mode for you players out there who just want to vibe out and play more casually. Looking forward to hitting the icy slopes soon. Do you remember the day before? The day before when? What? Wait, I've confused myself now. The game we're talking about is another early access release. It's called The Day Before. There. This open world MMO will take place entirely on the East Coast. You'll battle against other players and monsters, loot and collect resources, and try to get society back on its feet. There's no guarantees there, but you might stand a bit more of a chance of surviving if you can create a safe home for yourself. While this is early access, players should still expect plenty of weapons and a lot of different areas to explore. I think it looks pretty fun. On to the long-running Warhammer series, we have Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Look, I can't even bullshit my way through this because I'm just not all that familiar with Warhammer, but here's the gist of things. This is an RPG that comes to us from the folks who created Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. The game world looks massive, and like other games in this franchise, your choices will play a pivotal role in what happens. Combat is turn-based tactical, and you'll need to use your environment to your advantage. Different characters will also have unique abilities, so putting together the right combination will be essential to your success. Warhammer fans, be sure to check it out. Tons of early access releases this week, but it is the end of the year. Regardless, next we are looking at Three Kingdoms Zhao Yun. You'll take control of the legendary Zhao Yun, just as the title suggests. The 3D visuals are looking pretty nice, and it also looks like there will be a ton of historical figures that you'll need to interact and chat with. Real-time battles will even feature a bit of a combo system here, so we'll have to see if it all comes together to create a compelling experience. You folks out there that love your history might want to check this one out. Let's enjoy some sweet, sweet Arizona Sunshine, folks. VR fans, yes, next is Arizona Sunshine 2, another post-apocalyptic adventure that will probably make me lose my mind if I do end up strapping on that headset again. This VR stuff is just too crazy, man, I'm telling you. Do your best to survive this harsh world as you form alliances, use an assortment of insane weaponry, and even go through the campaign with a friend. That's right, 2-player co-op, you gotta love that. Even better, up to 4 players can enjoy the Horde mode. The developers are promising more content after release, so if you enjoyed the first game, be sure to show some love and support for what looks to be a great sequel. We had a great puzzle game released this year called Cocoon, but now we have Hollow Cocoon. This, however, is a much different game, as it is a horror title that takes place in Japan. You'll play as Minato Jinba, who encounters disturbing entities as she heads off to visit her grandmother that's fallen ill. Players will be treated to many difficulty options, multiple endings, and Silent Signs will like this, controls for motion sickness. Kinda weird on the bottom of the Steam page, but they have live streaming guidelines too. They don't want you to show specific things. They're kinda weird about that, but either way, this looks pretty spooky and fun. I'm always down for some post-Halloween goodness. Alright y'all, I gotta get ready for a date, but not before I leave you with A Date with Death. This romance chat simulation title will be completely free, so now you have no excuse not to find love. Who's your date? It's the Grim Reaper. Okay, that's probably not who you wanted to fall in love with, and he's probably got horrible breath. A little bony for me, not exactly my type. Create your own character to win over the love of death, decorate your room, and take good care of your dog, of course. Do with this info what you will. A Date with Death launches on the 7th. That's it for me, folks. I hope you enjoyed this list of upcoming indie game releases and you found the next indie game of your dreams. As always, we thank you so much for supporting independent content. Be sure to head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, and so much more. And I will see you all on the channel.